the Crafty Sew&So vlog. My name is Freya and today I'm going to be showing you how to add length or take away length from your dressmaking patterns. At Crafty Sew&So we've also produced My Handmade Wardrobe patterns, and while we spend a long time perfecting the fit, there are always going to be some things that will need adjusting depending on your personal body. One of those things that's a very common fit adjustment is adjusting the length. Our patterns are designed for a 5'7" woman, and so if you are much bigger or smaller than that, you are going to need to adjust the length of the pattern so that they fit you and aren't overly long or cropped when they're not supposed to be. This is a very common adjustment and it's really simple to do. I'm going to be demonstrating it today on our newest pattern, the Homebody Joggers. I'm going to be making a pair for my husband as well as for myself. My husband is 6'2", so for him I'm going to be adding a couple of inches, and I am only 5'2", so I will be removing a couple of inches from the legs. This technique can be applied to bodies as well as legs or arms, so wherever you need to add some length, you can come back to this video and add it really simply with my very quick tutorial. To get ready to follow this tutorial, you're going to need to have cut out your pattern pieces, and then once you're cut out and ready to go, we can follow the next steps. So here is my size medium pattern, and here is the lengthen shorten line. This one is at the knee of the leg, and there's also a lengthen shorten line at the hip as well. So these joggers have quite a nice high rise. But if you want them to be a lower rise, you can also shorten them at this point or lengthen them if that's what you prefer. But today I'm just going to be adjusting the lengthen shorten line at the knee. The technique I'm going to be doing is exactly the same for any lengthen shorten line, whether that's on a trouser pattern or on a top or bodice pattern as well. Now I'm going to be shortening these trousers by 3 centimeters. So I need to draw another line up from the lengthen shorten line that's 3 centimeters away. Now you can do that for the length that you want to take off, but that needs to be the total length that you're taking away. Then we're going to create a fold at the lengthen shorten line. And then we're going to take that fold up to meet the line you've just drawn on. Like so. And now I need to tape that down to hold it in place. So once I tape that in place, we can see that there's a little bit of a discrepancy on the curve here, so that's no longer very smooth. So we just need to take our scissors and smooth that curve out on both sides. That one's pretty smooth. Depending on how much you take out will depend on how much of a kink that puts into the pattern, but you just need to smooth it out and it's ready to go. And that's it. Don't forget to do it on both legs. Now we've had a look at shortening trousers, let's have a go at adding some length. For this, you're going to need some extra paper. I like to save the paper that I've cut out from my paper pattern and use that. But you could also grab any piece of paper, whether that's baking paper or printer paper, to do the same job. You will need a ruler and a pencil as well for this technique. So this pattern piece I'm going to be adding some length into. So again, I'm going to go to the lengthen shorten line, and I'm going to use my scissors to cut all the way along it. Okay, so now that's in 2 pieces. Then I'm going to take the spare piece of paper from cutting out the pattern, and I've drawn 2 parallel lines on it, 5 centimeters apart. Now I'm adding this length into the trouser pattern for my husband. Now the first step is to put it underneath your pattern piece and line up the drawn lines with the cut edge. And we're going to tape that in place. Then we're going to take the bottom of the trousers and we're going to pop those on the other side of the pattern piece. One thing we have to make sure we do is we keep that grain line true. So I'm going to use my ruler to get that part of the arrow and make sure that it continues through the added piece of fabric or paper. Once that's trued up, I can tape that down. And then I want to take my ruler and just match up the lines on either side to connect the dots. That side and this side. If you have a curved dressmaking ruler, this is where it comes in really helpful. Then I'll just cut those new lines. And my pattern is nice, long and ready to cut out from my fabric. Well, I hope you found that tutorial really useful. If you've got any questions, please put them in the comments below. You'll also find a link to the blog tutorial which talks you through things step by step on our website as well. So you can go and check that out if you prefer to read your instructions. Do save this video if you're going to find it useful to come back to, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We post video content every 2 weeks and it's a mixture of tutorials, sewing inspiration, vlogs and behind the scenes content from our sewing studio. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Goodbye and happy sewing.